To making a new album and with 4 different composers, and which also with a concept of making more intimate pieces together. Mozart Sonata, the Chopin Sonata number 3, those are 2 sonatas, and then the Schumann Memories from the Childhood, Kinnison, and then the Hungarian Rhapsody number 2, the Horowitz transcription. And so the idea of making this album, obviously the Liszt Hungarian Rhapsody number 2, I have a different approach. Otherwise, it really doesn't fit this group. I think Liszt, especially for Hungarian Rhapsodies, it's always often people think it's just a big showpiece or just technical things. But I do think this Hungarian Rhapsody number 2, of course, it's difficult. It's one of the most difficult things, especially for the Horowitz transcription. It's really difficult, but it's such an artistic piece. It's so artistic, and really, why I bring them together. This is a big reason, because all those pieces, no matter fast, slow, quiet, passionate, no matter what, those are the pieces which I heard when I was a little kid. So this is really the childhood pieces which I heard. Of course, I cannot play those pieces when I was a little child, Hungarian Rhapsody number 2, But my first Liszt piece was a piece called The Little Hungarian. When I was 5 years old, I played as my first recital. Actually, I played this Little Hungarian thing. And obviously, that the Hungarian Rhapsody number 2, this piece, is the first piece I watched on television, because Tom and Jerry, the cartoon, they were playing this piece together. And I think that really they did a wonderful job. They even made Tom play like Horowitz with a totally flat fingering. I still remember that. And then it was unbelievable. I get so inspired by that. I watched it when I was 2 years old, and then I had a piano in front of me because my parents bought a Chinese-made upright piano. Then I saw this thing, and I said, "Wow, is that the same thing which I just saw on TV?" And then I start imitate Tom, like playing like this in a cartoon way. So it was amazing that this is the first piece which brought me to classical music, basically, and to get so interested, and to also to want to have a big dream to be a pianist. And so that's why this piece is important. And this Mozart sonata is the first, really the major sonata I played by any composer, basically. And the Chopin sonata, also I started very early, and I listened really, really early. And the Schumann Quintessence that I watched live when Horowitz played live concert. Yeah, next year, 2006, it's a big Mozart year, and very fortunately, today we are now on top. Probably on top of Salzburg, almost, and it's just a fantastic place to talk about Mozart. You have so many characters inside the music, and they are really happens really quick, because Mozart phrasing is very short and delicate. And I must say, as when you're talking about pianistic of the view of talking about Mozart, it's also hard to play, because it's very hard to control the sound. So pianistically, Mozart is also very difficult. The sound is very hard to create. You really need to create a sound in your head first, and then you need to really follow the sound very carefully with your finger, and it must fit together. The chords, because it has not so many notes in Mozart pieces. It sounds really easy, but sometimes the less note you have is more difficult even. And another thing I find so interesting in Mozart is that in the music he's totally crazy, you know, in a very good way, funny but crazy, totally, and unexpected. This is the word if you want to get it. Totally unexpected. Sometimes it's just so pure as water, and then suddenly there's something comes, destroy the atmosphere, and then comes back in 1 second. 1 second. And this, I think, made Mozart so special, and you never expect what's going to happen right after. When I was 9 years old, I went to Beijing, and very unfortunately, I was fired by my new teacher in Beijing. And basically, that time is the most depressive time in my life because the teacher was really thinking that way, that I don't have a talent and I shouldn't play piano. So I gave it up. And then after 3 weeks, the music teacher at the school, you know, the public school, and he said, we need to have some music. Can you play it? And I said, no. And then he forced me into the class, and every kid was there, you know, they're expecting me to play something. And they're, hey, go, you know, you're great. So I don't have a choice. So I start playing the second movement, the most touching movement. And then I thought, I still love to play, and I do believe I have a talent. And the most important thing is music makes me strong, and I like to keep with it. And this is my first Mozart sonata recording, and I like to bring this one up.